and know that they are beautiful inside and out. There's a confidence that comes with when we dress modestly. When you know your dignity as a daughter of God, there's a confidence that comes with that. And you're showing it, and we can see it on the runway. So thank you very much for that. I remember, okay, so back to the mistakes I was making, and so I made a lot of mistakes, and I did a lot of things I wasn't proud of. And I realized it's only by the grace of God that I was able to save my gift of virginity for my husband, our wedding night. And it was so worth saving. I have an amazing, awesome husband. He is so great. I was telling him I was working on this talk, and he shared with me one of his earliest memories of me. And I remember the shirt, but I don't remember him seeing me in it or any comments. I had this shirt that, I'm kind of like a loud personality in your face. So I had this neon orange, like the color of that poster board. I had a neon orange shirt on, okay? And it was long sleeve, and it said, "You can call me a prude, you can call me a loser, you can call me a virgin, you can call me all these things." And it's like, but don't call me for sex until you can call me your wife. In your face, huh? And that's like, and my husband was telling me, he's like, I loved it. I loved that you were just so beautiful. Like, you had a body that you could show off, but you chose not to. And you had this crazy, bold shirt on that I'm sure people commented on all the time. And I loved when they did, because I was like, all right, let's talk. But yeah, being modest is amazing. It's beautiful. It's captivating. What is modesty? I could tell you my words, but even better, I'm going to tell you the words of the church. The Catechism says, modesty protects the intimate center of the person. It means refusing to unveil what should remain hidden. It guides how one looks at others and behaves towards them, and conforming with their dignity of persons. When you know your dignity, when you know that you are a daughter of God, you dress modestly. It just overflows. And people respond to that. Okay, this is what one guy said about modesty. He said, without a word, modesty invites men to realize that women have more to offer than just their bodies, because the beauty of the woman can be intoxicating to a man. He may find it difficult to see beyond it. Modesty does him the favor of concealing what he is not yet worthy to see. When the woman veils her body with modest clothing, she is not hiding herself from men. On the contrary, she is revealing her dignity to them. As the result, the man is free to take her serious as a woman. How amazing is that? He has it spot on. That's a chastity speaker, Jason Everett, and I love that quote. And I love hearing it from a man. That's what modesty does. It invites them. It lets them know their dignity. I did not know my dignity, and I didn't know how to dress modestly. But other women teach you that. So as women, as Jason said there, you're teaching men. You're teaching men this is the beauty of woman, and this is how you treat them. And I'm wearing this to cover what you're not yet ready to see. Okay? And but you're also teaching other women. When you dress modest, you tell other women, listen, this is what it means to be a beautiful woman of God. Okay? When you dress modestly, you can be just as attractive, but when someone else is beside you wearing next to nothing, they have nothing more to reveal. But a guy looks at you and is like, okay, there's something about you. There's something stunning about you. Reveal, what is this? And you reveal the beauty of God. I came across a woman when I was 18 years old who I thought seemed kind of plain, but she was one of these women. She dressed in she didn't wear any makeup. She dressed in kind of plain, boring colored, very neutral, kind of baggy clothes. And I didn't really think too much about her. I kind of wrote her off as being like a church girl, And, but she was nice, so I was nice with her, And then one day she pulled me aside. Her name was Lynn. And Lynn sat me down to have a chat with her. I didn't mind, because Lynn was a very humble girl. She was just very easy to talk to, very non-threatening. So I'm sitting down and I'm talking to her, and she begins to tell me about when she was a kid. And she's like, when I was a kid, people would make fun of me. I would get called all sorts of names, and they'd say that I was very homely. And she's like, people also thought I had a really bad self-esteem. But I didn't. She continued to say, I knew who I was. I knew who I belonged to. I knew my dignity, and I actually had a great self-esteem. And she looked at me and she's like, I bet people think you have a good self-esteem. Well then, it's hard. When you're this talented and good looking, of course I have a good self-esteem. And I laughed, and she did not laugh. She just sat there. And then she said something that I will never forget. She said something that will changed my life forever. She looked me in the eye, and she said, Cameron, I don't think I've ever met a girl with such a low self-esteem as you. It stabbed me in the heart. I was just, I wanted to like, yeah, well, you're stupid and ugly, and run away. But I couldn't. For the first time, someone looked through the mask that I put on, looked past all the walls I had up, and saw me, and spoke truth. It was really life-changing, and it was really humbling. And Lynn helped me. She led me on a process that helped me see all the other lies I believed about myself, and spoke truth to each of them. She actually gave me Bible verses. For each lie that I believed, she gave me a Bible verse of truth to counteract it. I was on a retreat during this time that I was kind of going through this transformation. And we were asked to, we were given papers and pen and spread out around the church and draw a picture of yourself. The way God sees you, who you really are. Sounds easy enough, right? I sat there for almost an hour, staring at a blank sheet of paper. I didn't know. I thought I could be this, that, I could be the girl that made a lot of mistakes, I thought of all these names maybe, and then I prayed, Jesus, please show me the truth. You know, I was so fearful that I was simply a scared little freckled-faced girl, and that's all I was. So, after about an hour, I came up with something on my paper. I drew a girl, the great big question mark. And in the words of describing all around, I had nothing. I put God's girl. That's all I knew. I'm starting over. I have all these things that I thought I was. This identity, I thought that this is who I was, but it turns out I'm not. So I'm starting over. And that was okay. All I knew was I was God's girl. And that was enough. I was at a turning point, and I knew where to turn, who I needed to turn towards. Christ had the answers. That's where I was going to find who I truly was.